He's rolling at Homestead for 160 laps. Great start from John Kay. Slick, cold tires, and there goes Ryan Dye! Oh, man. It didn't take long. If anything, that should have been a wake-up call to these drivers. That they are not out of danger at any point. Good getaway for Kay and Stearns, battling side by side for third. It's McKinnon trying to clear on Breeding, and he does. Paul Ellison will move underneath of the 26 now to try and take the fourth spot away.
And that's when he gets loose off of turn 4. Comes down onto that apron and just absolutely plows into the water barrels at the end of pit road.
John Kay has the speed. Unfortunately, too much of it on pit road.
Oh, my.
Said he was doing 59. The speed limit here is 50. Lap number 97. We are underway.
Oh, Bartel, a really bad restart on the bottom. Gainey and Jan Van Leer are going to get way out in front. The ICR doing some work early here.
Wow.
This, oh my goodness. That was a gaggle.
Still kind of is. Gainey out in front of the Hornet's Nest.
Here comes Jeremy McKinnon. Look at this battle.
3 wide for third. Wow. It doesn't get closer than that before the yellow laundry is back waving.
Stearns trying to get... Oh, Polisi's coming to the pit.
Polisi gets a bump.
05.
Some unwanted help on pit entry there. The top 3 all into the pits.
And they are right here together.
Just got a beat over the radio. Nathan Reynolds does not think he put enough fuel in the truck.
Oh, my. Wow, Stearns very close.
Sweeps high-low. He's back on the attack. This is for second. It could very well be for the win. We'll see who is going to give. And it's going to be Poliski yielding to the 05 for now.
Wow, Stearns just created such a massive run. Oh, Poliski now with the run.
For now, didn't last very long. Here's Poliski, slides up the track. Has to get on the binders.
Stearns only gave Poliski really wanted to take that top side, and Stearns only gave him about a half a lane. He is definitely not saving. I can tell you that.
In for a penny, in for a win.
Coming into pit.
Here he goes. Just like that, his luck and his gas has run out.
He may get a black flag off of that. He really sent it in there.
But in a race where it seemed like he was playing second fiddle most of the night, he's going to endure the endurance race at Homestead Miami Speedway. Chad Stearns is back to victory lane at the line for second. Oh boy, not by much. It's Andy Poliski. But Stearns, Poliski, Bartel, your podium here tonight with Ellison and Peterson, your top 5. Another disastrous night, this time for John Kay, back in 6th. Wow. You feel like we've endured here tonight at the Calypso Bash at the beach.
We've endured a great race. That's what we've endured here tonight.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants. where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. We had a bash at the beach last week, and this time around, a clash at the last great Coliseum. The drivers are all getting ready to get sung into battle as they are looking for glory and to establish an absolute monarchy after all is said and done at Bristol Motor Speedway. Round number 11 of the 6th season of the Venom Truck Series is the None of Your Beeswax APRA 220. And it's all right here on your home for some Tuesday night trucking Turn 200. So happy to have everybody along. I hope we're all having a good night. It's about to get a lot better as we're ready for 220 laps in Thunder Valley. My name is Tommy Cook. We got the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson. Are you ready to throw down in Bristol here tonight?
More than ready to throw down here at Bristol. We got the classic Venom Truck Series here on tap tonight, and it is always a show when we go to the last great Coliseum. We're in for a good one here.
And one of the great showmen of the Venom Truck Series is joining us here right off the rip. He is the decent one, Kyle Zittel. Thank you for joining us here tonight for some pre-race shenanigans.
Absolutely, boys. Thank you for having me.
Well, you've been working hard on a Bristol tradition for the drivers of the Venom Truck Series. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, so when we first started going to Bristol every year in the Venom Truck Series, we kind of wanted to do what NASCAR does. They all have intro songs that kind of make it, WWE style, walking out. So we would normally just post YouTube videos and say, hey, this is my theme song, whatever. This year, John Kay and myself came up with an idea to put it all together and do a YouTube video. So for everybody that submitted a song to John, myself, and anybody else they sent it to, we put it in a video, put a picture of your truck up. In the description of the video is every song, and I think you guys put the link to this video in the description for the race.
Yes.
So if you want to watch it again, it'll be right there. So yeah, we'll have our own little intro video.
There you go. Here are some of the tunes that the drivers are walking in to the last great Coliseum to.
Snoop Dogg and D.I. Guess who's back?
I don't know about you, but I'm admitting now that I have a problem. Well, I won't back down. No, or take me to Talladega, spread my ashes in turn 3.
fine, and a country boy can survive.
Just moving on over until the dude is on the prowl.
To the wall, a band of brothers together along the outsiders, with the riders.
I am a poor man, I'm digging on, digging, digging on.
T-shirt sleeve, he got a tattoo on his arm. I said, baby, he got another.
Alrighty, it is about that time to get to racing at Bristol. Thank you to both John Kay as well as the decent one, Kyle Zittel, for all their hard work putting all the intro music together for us. And we still got the one to KZ53 here up in booth 200. Pretty good qualifying lap. You're still in the top 10 right now, so you'll be towards the front of this field. What's the game plan here tonight? What's the goal after 220 laps at Bristol?
I've in advance, man. I have run. I like this track. For somebody who doesn't like short tracks like I do, I enjoy Bristol. A couple of them haven't been my way, but you know, it's just about surviving, advancing, getting around people, and keeping it clean.
Well, we're gonna send all the good energy that we can to you. It seems like we jinx you fairly regularly, but I think this whole race is a jinx. So I think you're on a level playing field here tonight. Best of luck to you here tonight, and go get you one.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Alrighty. We've had great racing last week. Great racing up front all season long, and now we have a great points battle to go along with it. Mr. Matt Williamson, would you agree?
I would certainly agree, and for the great viewers out here, we have the points graphic up here on the board, and yeah, I mean, it has been pretty much back and forth all season long here for the top three. It's John Kay currently leading Andy Poliski by 1 point, and then we have Nathan Reynolds 7 points behind John Kay here as well. So the three of them, I mean, they have been flip-flopping and swapping pretty much all season here. TJ Bartel's put a lot of good finishes together here as of late, kind of separated himself into the 4th position, and then the battle for the top 5 is very fierce here as well. So there is a lot to look towards here in the point standings.
Paul Ellison has climbed up 4 spots in the last 2 races with 2 top 5 finishes. And he's going to start on the outside of the front row with Nathan Reynolds to his inside. Reynolds went from 1st to 3rd after a disastrous finish last week. All 3 of those top 3 drivers have held the points lead at some point this season. Incredible stuff. Previous Bristol pavement races, Andy Poliski has won both of these races in Season 2 and Season 4. Nathan Reynolds has the track record. If you wouldn't mind telling me if you can read it, what is that qualifying track record, Matt Williamson?
That qualifying record is a 14.838. So,
well, Nathan Reynolds has beaten that. So he now has the in-race lap record and the qualifying lap record, previously held by Brandon Vyers. But a 14.829 is the pole time for Nathan Reynolds here tonight. Nathan Reynolds also has led the most laps. I said on there that the pole sitter has failed to finish both times, and that is actually not true. Nathan Reynolds DNF'd in Season 2, but not in Season 4 when he won the pole, but still did not get the finish that he was looking for. That is for sure. Something we have neglected to mention up to this point is that tonight is the throwback race. So a lot of throwback schemes in the field here tonight, and the majority of which are not throwbacks to NASCAR trucks that they like. They're throwbacks to other Venom Truck Series paint schemes. So a lot of awesome trucks from seasons past here in the Venom Truck Series are being represented here tonight. You've got your eye out on the track. What paint schemes are jumping out at you tonight?
Well, we're looking at one from John K. right now, a papyrus paint scheme, and I'm doing this on purpose because we're going to jump from him to Ryan Dye, who has John K. on his truck. And, oh, look at this. It's not in black letters anymore. It is in white letters. Matt Williamson has a trash Buffalo Wild Wings take right out here for everybody to see. So the memes continue, but a great looking paint scheme here for Ryan Dye. I gotta see if we have a rear chase here so we can see that I guess pretty mug or maybe more of an ugly mug. I'm not sure which.
It is a mug, certainly
a mug. We're gonna continue to look at some of the paint schemes here from the drivers as we continue here in warm-ups. Just got under a couple minutes left here.
Andy Poliski thought he was getting ready to head out to the track, but is not. A similar paint scheme to John K., but it's apparently a Michael Krall throwback. Also, just behind him, Kyle Zittel is rocking the iRacing Pace Truck throwback from Corey Rutherford, even complete with the duct tape numbers. Excuse me. I believe that got run last season in the throwback race, but also this is a throwback from Bristol season 4, I do believe, from Corey Rutherford. So, yeah, a lot of good-looking trucks out here. Paul Nelson's truck's looking pretty nice as well. The Swamps of Dagobah truck. Yeah, you can't go wrong here. We got about a minute left in the warm-up here. I want to say hello to everybody's watching. We've already got 15 people hanging out with us here tonight. Lindsey G in the chat, Wes Brown in the chat, Eric Breeding in the chat, Rebecca Mrs. Woda, and State Line Sim Racing. Yes, Ryan Dye says he blew that qualifying outside of the top 10. So is Andy Poliski. So a couple of drivers that need some good nights are well back in the starting order. Should be interesting to see what we are getting ready to get locked and loaded here for 220 laps around Bristol. I don't know. I'm actually kind of feeling nervous here. This is going to be an interesting race.
Well, we've had some kind of I guess interesting. I don't know if that's really the right word, but some caution-filled races here as of late, and one of them was here at Bristol. Of course, that was in a Gen 4 series rather than trucks. But we've had some truck series races, not just Venom, that have had a lot of cautions as well. So the tides have not been good, especially if Netcode decides to do its thing again here tonight, but we're going to hope that doesn't happen.
Nine cautions here in Season 4, 14 in Season 2, so maybe cautions are the name of the game here tonight. Hopefully not. The drivers are hitting the grid here. It's career pole number 20 for the Intimidator. Nathan Reynolds, 38 on the score sheet, 51 on the side of that truck. He rolls off from P1. Paul Ellison has not gotten good finishes here per se, but has led some laps and is a winner on short tracks in the Venom Truck Series. So watch out for the 55 of Ellison, who's on a hot streak from the outside of the front row. Nathan Palamoto, your leading rookie contender. Great start for him, P3. He'll roll off with the race sponsors, Steve Roman to his outside in fourth. Will Salamone needs a good race here tonight. He will roll off from P5 to his outside. In the sixth position is Preach. Luke Peterson doing his thing right now on the starting grid. Coming off a top 5 finish last week at Homestead. Jan Van Leer, John Van Leer, Han Van Leer, driver number 5, starting in 7th. John K., the points leader, is to his outside in 8th. Kyle Zittel then in 9th. Eric Breeding rounds out your top 10 starters. Ryan Dye, 2-time series champ, has led a lot of laps here, but has yet to come away with a good finish. He rolls off 11th. Cole Maxwell starting to his outside in 12th. Run number 7 is Brantley Gainey and Michael Dean, teammates in 13th and 14th. Pascal Samard has got a top 5 finish here. He starts at 15th. Chad Stearns, last week's winner, way back at 16th. The Sargent brothers start on the same row for the second week in a row. It's Paul on the inside, Kevin on the outside of row number 9. And row number 10 is Andy Poliski in 19th. 2 times the winner here at Bristol. Garrett Rainey to his outside in 20th. The rest of the starting lineup will scroll through as Matt Williamson is about to give us what's good about Bristol Motor Speedway ahead of tonight's None of Your Beeswax 220.
Well, we got the fuel window is about 160 to 170 laps, so you can definitely make it on a one stop. I think we're going to have quite a few cautions here too, so that's going to be something to look out for, but maybe not. We've been proven wrong time and time again. 3 extra sets of tires, no fast repairs. Track temperature, it is a night race, only 85 degrees, so pretty optimal here for the drivers.
Unfitting name for this race, None of Your Beeswax, because your beeswax is about to be everybody's beeswax. 27 trucks getting ready to rocket around Bristol for 220 laps. Venom Truck Series is back at Bristol. Good start for Reynolds. Nelson back to second. A little bit squirrely through the field here.
John Kay up the racetrack just a little bit here early on.
Lap 1 goes to Reynolds.
Kay is able to get around Preach. Luke Peterson on the outside. Oh, we're stacked up a bit. It looked like Vroman touched the wall. Kay will now look to the inside of the 00. Few spots behind them. I think Jan Van Leer and Kyle Zittel are battling as well. Zittel's gotten the best of him, and now Ryan Dye's moving forward.
We got more battling up towards the front as here goes Nathan Palawota to the outside of Paul Ellison, trying to move up into second, and will do so. Ellison back to third, slides up in front of Steve Roman.
Kay not able to get around Vroman. He slots back into position. He's in the 5th spot. Pretty much single file here right now.
Vroman moving up top here. Kay with him. Typically the trend normally is to start towards the bottom in the middle and work your way up to the top once this track works itself in. But Vroman and Kay not waiting around for that.
No, Kay was straight to the top of the racetrack in the first turn and has actually not really left since.
This line is sort of migrated already to where most of the people throughout this top 10 are on the top side. Paul Ellison maybe wants to get up there, but he is not going to be able to find a window here. Oh, we got a caution. I think Kevin Sargent is involved. It sounds like Cole Maxwell got a piece of it as well. That's caution number 1 on lap number 9.
Well, we're going to try to see what happens here. Oh, and it actually happens in front of Rainey. It looks like Sargent, that's Kevin Sargent, and Maxwell are the 2 that are going to end up getting together here. We'll rewind it here just a bit so we can get a better look. This is heading into turn number 1 here. And Maxwell just slows down a lot more than Sargent thought he was going to. Sargent gets right into the back of the 3. Going to send them around, and then Maxwell's going to go right to the middle of the racetrack. Nowhere to go for Garrett Rainey. That's who plows into him. And a bunch of other drivers trying to get checked up here. Oh, Gainey gets a bit of it as well. I think, Michael Dean, he's up in the wall. Paul Sargent involved there as well. And maybe some minimal contact for a couple others, but quite a few trucks with at least a tiny bit of damage there, but a couple with pretty heavy.
Yeah, Michael Dean is the only driver out of this to pick up a meatball flag. He is disconnected from the session, but he is actually just reconnected, so maybe decided it's better to wait it out. Unfortunately, his hot streak of finishes of late looks to be in some serious jeopardy here tonight. Unfortunately for driver number 73. But Nathan Reynolds has looked pretty comfy out front, as he has led all 12 completed laps thus far. That makes 245 laps led on the season for driver number 38/51. He's going to elect the outside here for this restart, and we'll put the other Nathan to his inside. Great run so far for Nathan Palawota.
And Reynolds, of course, one of our Car Inside drivers here. He is the owner of the YouTube channel Car Inside. We have a great video from him in the description of our video, I do believe.
It is for IRP, and a lot of people are going to need some tips and tricks how to get around there. And you know what? If he throws in a restart tip in there as well, I think he's going to get some more views. Great launch here for driver number 38. Palawota trying to get clear on Ellison. He is, but Paul going to fight back on the outside. Luke Peterson looking to the inside of the 55 for third. Luke Peterson, podium finisher last night in Truck 200 preseason competition. Said he was really looking forward to Bristol. You know he's good on the short tracks. And is having a pretty good run here, although he just got awfully up close and personal with the 00 of Steve Roman and is now on his way backwards.
Yeah, he's sliding back here a little bit. It's going to lose about 3 spots here. Going to have to move up the racetrack to keep position. There's a big group of drivers behind him. Eric Breeding, Ryan Dye, Kyle Zittel, Will Salamone here, as well as Kevin Sargent, Jan Van Leer. Jan Van Leer actually...
car around in the mid-pack.
Oh.
It's Kevin Sargent. He's going to get T-boned. Caution is out for the second time. Woohoo! Yikes. I think that was Corey Rutherford that T-boned him. They're the only two that picked up any significant damage. Sargent was running just outside of the top 10 and sort of looped it around on his own. And that is how we bring out our second caution of the night.
And for once, we were actually watching the action that unfolded there live. But we'll go back and take another look. You mentioned it and hit it right on the head here. Sargent gets kind of loose and ends up looping it on his own. Jan Van Leer was looking to make a move on the inside, and Sargent, he sails it here into the turn, and the back end just starts going around on him. And he's trying his darndest to save this thing, but he gets down on the apron, and when the wheels are turned right, he shoots right up the racetrack. A bunch of trucks here in behind him. Most of them go low and are able to avoid, but Rutherford with really just nowhere to go. And then Dumig, Kevin Sargent, they kind of get together here trying to avoid the two trucks stopped on the track. A little bit of contact there, but not too bad.
Well, it's been a start to the race that I think Kevin Sargent would rather forget, involved in both of the cautions thus far. But no meatballs out of that wreck, so that's good news for him and Corey Rutherford, who had an eventful homestead last week, but came away with a top 10. 2 cautions in the first 20 laps here. I think that's maybe one more than I was expecting, but I can't say I'm surprised, especially since we've only really eliminated 1 truck in these early accidents.
Yeah, and that's really surprising. You mentioned it. We did have quite a few get involved, but usually when a wreck happens here at high speeds, it is there can be a lot of trucks that get involved with it because there's really nowhere to go, and everybody kind of goes all over the place on the big banking here at Bristol on the short track. Currently car inside here with Luke Peterson. You mentioned it. He won the practice race for Truck 200, so he's looking to kind of repeat here for the actual season opener on Monday night next week.
And got a 5th at Homestead last week as well. So Preach has been picking him up across the board here of late. Yeah, a bit of a backslide here, but the good news is he's right back to where he started this race, but was challenging for 3rd just a couple laps before that caution came out. So still some work to do here for Luke Peterson to get back up into it. One driver that needs a bounce back after what I'm sure was a disappointing Homestead was Eric Breeding. Breeding right now up, I believe, into the 8th position. Qualified 3rd last week at Homestead and really honestly dropped like a rock. Finished, I think, 20th. So Breeding, a short track guy, loves throwing down on the high banks of Bristol and is looking to get her done here tonight.
Yeah, and I spoke with Breeding before the race. He just said he blew up one of his tires on that first stint, and he put himself in a big hole. Pretty disappointing for him, but he's feeling good about tonight, and he's doing good so far.
Boy, Nathan Palawota on the lap 24 restart does not get a good start here on the outside. Ellison is clear, so is John Kay. Inches to spare, but it's a game of inches here at Bristol.
Wow, Kay is absolutely railing the outside here.
Back to business as usual. Reynolds leading Kay out front. Looking for Andy Poliski. He is exactly where he started this race back in 19th. So still plenty of time, over 190 yada yada laps left to go in this one.
Jumbled up big time here, the back half of the top 10. Zittel in the Pace truck livery. He's going to get through here. Dye and Eric Breeding are now battling. Salamone right behind Dye on the outside in that white truck. Zittel now looking to move to the outside of Peterson. Vroman trying to make a move on Ellison. We got action all over the place here. And John Kay is reeling in the leader.
Going to the outside, right up against the wall. Palawota is back on his horse. He is closing in. Ellison going the wrong direction. But now a lap truck in front of the leaders. Forces John Kay to move to the middle, but still lockstep with his teammate Nathan Reynolds out front. Lap truck is Michael Dean. He is already in the middle of the back half of the top 10.
Ellison is dropping a couple of spots here. Vroman gets around. Kyle Zittel now gets around. Somebody's coming down pit road. I'm not sure.
Garrett Rainey. I think he has got up into the wall and picked up a meatball flag. So Rainey, unfortunately, has some required repairs to attend to. While his teammates and associate teammates take up 4 of the top 10 positions right now, including the top 2.
Ryan Dye really loose out of turn number 4, but he gets it put together. He's past Luke Peterson. Salamone in tow, looking to get around the 89 as well. Meanwhile, John Kay still hounding the back of the 51. 51 on the track for the throwback, actually number 38 here in the season.
And John was excited for tonight. Says he loves Bristol. Would do full-length races for fun. Nathan Reynolds talked about his love-hate relationship with this track. Says he will either win this race or not finish. And right now he's winning, so...
Well, he said that's not only that's what's happened in the past, it's basically what he shoots for. He said it would be nice to break the streak, but that's really not what he wants. He wants to win the thing, otherwise he's going to go down trying.
That's a hell of a goal. Boom or bust for Nathan Reynolds, and right now he is booming. but not if John Kay has something to say about it. Kay has faded back about a truck length here the last couple of laps. And Nathan Palawota sort of yo-yoing back and forth, giving up a couple of truck lengths here and there, and then gaining them right back. But still well within range here of the top two.
Good battle here on the track for a while was Ryan, Dye, and Ellison. Now subsided for a bit.
And I mentioned a couple of laps after the restart, Andy Poliski had not gained any positions from where he started the race. He was 19th. He has already gained 6 positions after the field sort of sorted itself out. So he's up to 13th, looking to claw his way back into the top 10. Pretty similar to his arc from last week at Homestead to this point. Corey Rutherford staying high for the leaders. As he'll now have Steve Roman working underneath of him. Steve Roman, the 00. A little more part-time this season. But the race sponsor here tonight with his business, none of your beeswax apiary out of Wartburg, Tennessee. Since they were so kind to not only sponsor this race, but to provide the winner of this race with a full bottle of honey. We have linked their Facebook page in the description of this video. So if you want some fresh local Tennessee honey, get you some. It's in the description.
Yeah, and you can tell how much these guys in the Venom Truck Series love Bristol. They do everything they can.
Somebody's not loving Bristol right now. Caution number 3 is out, but I tell you what, I don't know for who. Everybody's rolling around the track right now.
It's actually Michael Dean. There was one truck stopped just on the apron, and it was Michael Dean. Not sure what happened. We'll take a look.
Michael Dean, for sure, not loving Bristol tonight. 23 laps down right now in the 27th position. Looked like a harmless little spin, but for sure, parked on the track. The leaders zipped right past him. Caution was necessary there.
Yeah, he gets loose on entry here, and then the left front tire dips down onto the apron, and that's a no-go here at Bristol. Does a good job of just kind of backing the truck down onto the apron so he's not in anybody's way, though.
You could certainly say the 73's night from the second caution of this race has taken a nose turn for the worst. And we've got Hakuna McKinnon in the chat. Jeremy McKinnon is hanging out with us. Says, what's up? Good luck to my teammates, Andy and Steve. Wish I could be there. Wish you were here too as well, partner. We got pit stops underway, I do believe. Just about everybody has hit pit road here.
Yeah, I think quite literally everybody, except for, I think, Cole Maxwell and Michael Dean, who are trying to get laps back here. And I take that back. Corey Rutherford has stayed out here as well, but I think it's going to end up coming in. I think he may have the dual pit lanes here tonight. I think he's there on the other side.
Yes, he is. Race off, won by Nathan Reynolds.
And
I think,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Kyle Zittel has been popped for speeding.
Oh man, he has not had very good luck with that this season.
He's just not had good luck. That's the long short of it, I think. But still a long way to go in this race.
Most certainly. I was going to say that these drivers, they treat this race very, very highly. You know, they're having their throwback race. They have their driver intros for here at Bristol. The winner gets a very cool prize, in my opinion, a jar of honey from none of your beeswax apiary. I mean, this is definitely one of, if not the crown jewel, I think, of the Venom Truck Series. And I think it's right at the top of the monarchy of the tracks that they like to come to. And they come here almost every season, and it's apparent that they love this place.
They do technically come here every season. It's just, every other season it's covered in dirt. So you can feel however you want to feel about that. But it's true. They do love them some Bristol Motor Speedway here. Yes, all the drivers up front are taking this very seriously. We're doubling up for the restart, but we are doing another lap under caution just to make sure everybody is where they need to be. I believe Andy Poliski was not quite in his correct position, so we'll do another lap under caution here. I believe Steve Roman is also sped on pit road, unfortunately, so 00 and 53 are dropping it to the tail here for this restart. But lap number 51 is up on the board. It's Nathan Reynolds and John Kay on the front row. Paul Ellison and Nathan Palamoda on row 2. Bill Salamone and Ryan Dye on row 3. Chad Stearns, Luke Peterson on row 4. Andy Poliski and Eric Breeding on row 5. Jan Van Leer, Brantley Gainey on row 6. Kenneth Graves, Oz Kanar on row 7. Jeremy Carter, Paul Sargent on row 8. Kevin Sargent, Pascal Samar, Tyler Berger, Kyle Zittel, Steve Roman, Gary Clark, Corey Rutherford, and Kyle Dumig, your 24 lead lap trucks here. A lot of racing left to do. A lot of feelings left to hurt. A lot of fenders left to wrinkle. Another good restart here for Reynolds.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Definitely some fenders left here to wrinkle tonight. I mean, we are in the early stages, but these are heavy racing duty machines. So I think they can take the heat, but John Kay is going to look to try to take advantage of his early run speed that he has had pretty much all night, but Nathan Palawoda is right there. Ryan Dye has now moved into 4th. Well, he did for a second. Paul Ellison trying to get a big run on him here is not going to quite do it.
And one driver silently creeping his way up the leaderboard here is Chad Stearns. He's already up 10 positions rather from where he started.
Absolutely read my mind.
Not had a good finish here at Bristol. His one Bristol appearance for the Venom Truck Series, 29th. But he is a short track ace. He's a long run ace. And he is on a hot streak. So look for this 0-5 to keep marching through the field. But up front, it's been all Nathan Reynolds. He's led every single lap. I think just every single lap. I don't think he got passed under caution at any point. So Reynolds dominating thus far. But John Kay, Nathan Palawoda have been pretty much right with him this entire race. Just haven't been able to get the pass done. And just as we're talking about Nathan Reynolds, he just set the purple lap of the entire race, 14.911. Oh, trouble.
Caution's out.
2 trucks around, multiple with damage here in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, a couple up in the wall here as well. Kenneth Graves is one of them. He was actually turned around upside down backwards. Nearly took out Kyle Zittel right there.
I'm sure Kyle Zittel's heart in his chest right now is upside down because that was almost very bad. Almost very bad. But very bad that we've got our 4th caution of the night. Paul Sargent, Kenneth Graves are going to pick up meatball flags, and Matt Williamson's going to show us out.
Well, we're going to take a look here. Haven't quite found it yet. Oh, and I think it's going to start with Graves here off of the wall. If y'all give me just a second. This is always the fun part. Back it up here, coming out of the turn. Graves, he's just going to get kind of tight and bounce off the wall. I think he's going to come right down into the 22. Actually, he doesn't. The 22 does a great job of anticipating what was about to happen, but then Sargent gets into him. This is what turns Graves around. Oh, and then Vroman checks way up, and Zittel absolutely smashes into the back of the 00. Little bit of tiny contact there for, I believe, Rainey as well, but he should be okay. Well, he's had some damage already, unfortunately, but nothing too bad from that one specifically. Actually, I take that back. I think that was Oz Kanar. But yeah, pretty big hits here for a couple of the drivers, specifically Kenneth Graves and Sargent, as you mentioned.
Been a quiet season for Kenneth Graves in his rookie season, other than him qualifying himself into the All-Star race a few weeks ago at iRacing Superspeedway, literally driving underneath of his teammate to do so. His Bristol not going the way that he would have hoped it would. Had an interesting development under the caution. We, for all intents and purposes, we had a red flag. The pace car came out of the pits and was going about 20 miles an hour and made the field wait for it to do a full lap before it went to its normal pace. So I don't know if I've ever seen that. I've seen the pace car glitch into the wall before and have to scrap the whole session. So hopefully whoever's driving the pace car here tonight can get it figured out, because that was no bueno.
Definitely a little
race
awkward.
is hard enough without that.
Just another wrench in the night here for the drivers, but we've got it settled now. And sometimes it's just where those cautions take place and where the leaders are in relation to the pace car. It can kind of jack with it sometimes.
Doubling up for the restart here. We got Ryan Dicey on row number 2 on the outside. But it's Reynolds and John Kay still up front here. Paluoto starting in 3rd. Ellison and Stearns your top 6. Lap 64. Good getaway for the top 4. They'll all file out really quickly. So will Stearns up to 5th. Comes down in front of Ellison. And that 05 is up to P5.
Wow, Ellison working the bottom. Nearly came up into, I believe that was Andy Poliski. Poliski is rocketing around the outside right now. Looking to get the best of the 05, and he does easily here. Big group of trucks here all together. Right behind Stearns, Peterson, Ellison, Salamone, Jan Van Leer, Vroman. Oh, there goes!
Oh, multiple trucks gonna pile into this one. Oh, man.
And I'm sure Paul Ellison would like to call somebody Rebel Scum just about now.
Well, the call over the radio, I think he's going to be calling his spotter Rebel Scum. Sounds like Ellison was trying to clear up on Jan Van Leer. His spotter did not tell him that the 5 was already there. So maybe the replay will tell a different story, but that's the conference over the radio here.
Well, here we are. There are a bunch of trucks here together. Ellison has been working the bottom pretty much all night here, and I think you're right. Jan Van Leer gets a great run, and Ellison tries to come up in front of him, and Jan Van Leer just had a massive run. Big speed there going into that corner, and Ellison was not clear, so he comes right across the nose of the 5, and a few trucks are going to be involved here. Ellison definitely, Brantley Gainey, Kyle Zittel. Jan Van Leer takes big damage there. Steve Vroman, I think, got into his teammate, got into Paul Ellison just a little bit, but not too bad. But wow.
Some astonishing news out of that is nobody picked up a meatball flag, believe it or not, especially with some of those hits were incredibly hard. It's surprising. I know they have a lot of damage, but
yeah, especially for Jan Van Leer.
They don't technically have to fix any of it. That's the nice thing. So do it at your own discretion, I suppose. Especially tough wreck to swallow for Ellison, Jan Van Leer, and Brantley Gainey. All three of these drivers, the last few races, have gotten a shot in the arm for the season, but that wreck was definitely a kick in the groin.
Yeah, and we're going to go car inside here with Brantley Gainey. He involved in that wreck, but still sitting in 11th here. It's kind of scratching his head, trying to figure out what he's got to do. Probably trying to figure out what kind of damage he's got here as well. But this is, we've seen it already tonight. 5th caution of the evening, only 70 laps into this thing, a long, long ways to go. This is a bit of a war of attrition, so if you can keep your head on your shoulders and just keep trucking, yes, pun intended, I think, you'll kind of come out of this thing okay, I think.
I think you're the first person ever to make that pun.
Look at me. So
look at us.
Who'd have thought?
Incredible. Not me. Doubling up here, coming to a restart on lap 73. A few cautions thus far. 5, in fact. We'll see. We're not even ratcheting it up yet. This has been just inside and just outside of the top 10 for the most part. Once these guys start getting after it in the top 5 and further up, we could be in for some more.
Well, we'll go car inside with Ryan Dice, starting on the outside of row 2 for the restart.
That's probably Reynolds' worst restart yet, and he's still a truck length and a half clear on John Kay.
See if Dye can clear Palawota here on the top.
Now they're about even. Oh, wow. Dye sends it. I think Palawota wanted to get himself up into that top line. Lagged a little bit into turn number 2, or turn number 1, rather. As John Kay is here again, hounding Reynolds. This is the best look that he's had thus far.
All over the back of the 51, trying to force a mistake here.
Trying to weasel his way into the top line here. It's not happening just yet. Reynolds carries just enough momentum off the bottom of the turn to be able to shut the door every time. Kay this time runs the middle, gets a little bit closer. The last thing that Reynolds wants is for John Kay to keep learning things through this run. So close every time. Ryan Dye close it in. He'll bring Palawota and Andy Poliski with him. Poliski's gotten around Chad Stearns for 5th and has attached himself here to the back of the 6 of Palawota.
All of our title contenders in the top 5 here.
I mean, what a drive for Poliski already.
I think some of these drivers are kind of hoping to settle in. We really haven't gotten a chance to get a lot of green flag laps in. It's been very choppy. It kind of keeps you on your toes, keeps you a little bit anxious about all the restarts. I'm sure they'd like nothing more than to settle in for a good 100 laps here.
So the majority of this field pit on lap 47 as never mind that. Here goes Kay to the inside. Reynolds now with the momentum clear.
Wow, Kay had a huge run there, and he just had to take it. Was all over the back of the 51, nearly was attached to him when he made the move to the inside. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, he almost took that run and ran it right into the tailgate of Nathan Reynolds. Top lane, especially in turns 1 and 2, starting to darken up.
The top 5 all within about 1.1 seconds of each other right now.
And we've mentioned Kyle Zittel a couple of times being involved in accidents, but not really picking up a ton of damage, just minor setbacks, if you will. Also a speeding penalty. He's up to 6th already. So some fresh rubber and a lot of confidence, I'm sure, for driver number 53 right now.
I think he was really looking forward to tonight, and he's showing why. He must have been putting a lot of work in here. Really loves this place.
And he's coming up
so
on that.
Much bad luck recently. He needs a good one here.
He is coming up on that pack of 3 in front of him in a hurry. And with some Dr. Feelgoods, 4 fresh ones, in fact, he ought to be able to make some noise here.
Oh, Palawota trying to make a move on Die here.
Die awfully close to the wall there into turn 1. Lap truck, Paul Sargent will make things interesting here as Palawota trying to slot into a hole that is not there. Now will fall victim to Poliski.
Well, that's what happens when you try to take a run on the inside and you can't make it work. You lose a lot of momentum, and if there's a truck right behind the guy on the outside, you are pretty much a sitting duck. There's really nowhere for you to go. You kind of get boxed in and slide back a couple positions. That's exactly what happened to Palawota.
Zettel is here. So watch for him to start making some moves here on Nathan Palawota momentarily. As Reynolds and Kay, nose to tail, starting to work through heavier and heavier lap traffic here. And now here goes Poliski to the inside of Ryan Dye for 3rd.
And you can see the front of Poliski's truck is bashed in pretty good. He's been involved in an incident here. But just like Kyle Zittel, still trucking along good.
Yeah, accidents were easy to come by here in the early portion of this race.
He's now made the same mistake as Palawota, though. Tries to make a move to the inside, gets shuffled out. Will fall back behind the number 6 now.
John Kay lost about 2 truck lengths to get it around Cole Maxwell. So some space between Reynolds and Kay. Kyle Zittel's charge is stalled out just a little bit.
Behind them, Stearns and Salamone. Pretty good battle here, trying to work around the lap traffic of the 25.
Poliski looking back underneath of Palawota. Trying to take that 4th spot back.
Poliski just running right on the apron here. And this is what makes Bristol so frustrating. It's so hard to pass. You find yourself here on the bottom, and you have to run 10 to 15 perfect laps to just make up ground and try to clear somebody. And if you make a little mistake, you got to restart and try again.
You know what makes passing easier? Do you think we're to that point yet? Anybody thinking about the old chrome horn?
Well, we still got a lot of racing left. I think these drivers really want to have some green flaggers here probably, but it wouldn't surprise me. Stearns now gets around Zittel. This is going to get interesting.
Stearns, the long-run king of the season. He is going to make things difficult here for these drivers. Dye in 3rd, Palawota in 4th, and Poliski first up on the list in 5th.
7 trucks on the lead lap all together here for position. Stearns, an absolute rocket around the outside. He's gotten Poliski giving a push to the 9 of Dye right now. Trying to get him in front of Palawota so he can then pass Palawota as well.
Just had a problem with Gary Clark. He has made his way onto pit road now.
Oh, Palamone a little
Wow.
bit loose. Die almost in the wall.
Poliski desperately searching a way to get around the 6 truck. They're going the wrong way in a hurry here on the bottom. Luke Peterson has joined the party. Now Stern's going to go to the bottom underneath the dive.
Wow, a huge dive to the bottom for Stearns here.
Chad Stearns to P3. Is anybody surprised? I'm not. Zittel up to P5 now. And we'll take a peek underneath of Ryan Dye. Will Salamone going to try and follow the 53 through. Up front, Reynolds has opened the gap for the lead up to about 0.8 of a second. So 38/51 driving away here.
And in the middle of this shuffle, Poliski has gone back to 9th.
Oh boy, that was tight. Not done yet. Peterson all out of shape. Had to check up to not pile into die. His checkup caused Poliski to have to check up hard. Almost really, really bad. I bet Poliski would argue that it was, but it could have been worse.
Could have been worse. It's going to spread this group out a little bit. Now, Brantley Gainey is on the move.
Wasn't Gainey just up in the wall in an accident? Last caution flag? Where did this 22 come from?
Well, he put on his racing face. We looked a little bit earlier today, earlier in the race, I should say, after the incident, to see how he was feeling. And he looked a little bit concerned, but had a good look, a determined look on his face, and he's right here again. He's made up a lot of positions here.
He's up 2 positions better than where he finished here in Season 4. 8th place last time we were here in action on pavement, Bristol. And these guys are all slip-sliding around through the field.
Well, he's pulled up onto this battle between Salamone and Zittel. And you know he's saved a lot of tire when he's making moves that easily on the bottom. I mean, he just said, "Thank you very much, Mr. Salamone. I'll take that from you." Into the top 5 now. Zittel is the next up.
So, Zittel up into the wall. Oh, boy. Gainey draws even down the backstretch. We'll try and send it in and clear Zittel this time off of 4. Not quite clear, but good progress. As I believe Steve Vroman is on pit road. Maybe that was Paul Sargent.
Caution is out.
Trouble. I think that's Jan Van Leer and Paul Ellison again. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Ellison, I think, is going to get up into the wall and move down the track into Jan. So that's 2 victim of circumstances wrecks for Jan Van Leer, unfortunately. But they don't sound angry over the radio, just disappointed.
We'll take a look here. John Kay had just gotten around them, so they were lap traffic at this point. And Ellison up into the wall. Man, you can't ride it any more than that. I mean, nearly the same, except instead of Ellison moving up, Ellison moves down the track, but pretty much the same result here as they are together in the wall.
Who says they can't write good sequels anymore?
Well, if you ask those two, I'm not sure that's a good one.
No. It'd be a box office bomb for sure in their minds, especially for two drivers that are good on the short tracks. Jan Van Leer's sneaky good short track records. His best finish, in fact, in Venom Truck Series came here at Bristol in Season 2. Finished runner-up. But not trending that way here tonight as we got the leaders on pit road.
Like Reynolds wins the race off pit road again here.
I'm not sure how Reynolds or Kay is going to feel about Chad Stearns being out behind them on equal footing now. Stearns was tracking them down, but now they all have fresh tires.
Well, I guess the only good thing for on the very short term is Stearns is generally not too terribly aggressive on restarts because he's such a good long-run driver. Especially, I mean, we have a lot of laps left. We have 100 laps left here, so has plenty of time to work. I don't think he's going to be getting too desperate here yet.
100 to go. Everybody has been down pit road at least twice, so most of these drivers will have one set left. Everybody, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is good to the end on fuel.
Yes, most definitely. Everybody will be good.
So everybody going to be nursing these tires, saving a set for somewhere down the line should we need it. I'd imagine we're 6 cautions in. The least we've ever had here is 9. I think we're probably due for a couple more dust-ups here before it's all said and done in the last great Coliseum.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. The action has been very tight up to this point, even after long runs. So I don't think it's going away anytime soon. Somebody we haven't taken a look at yet, and that's one of our car insiders. The car inside drivers is Eric Breeding, sitting around 15th right now. He was up well in the top 10 a little bit earlier on in the race, but he has a lot of trucks in front of him here on the restart.
And he's hoping they can all keep it pointed in the right direction here as we are back underway on lap 123. Well, Salamone working underneath of Brantley Gainey for 4th, but otherwise the top 3, clean getaway. John Kay has a run on Reynolds, decides to stay tucked underneath. Looks to the outside. Boy, these two gapped Brantley Gainey, and I think it's the usual MO for the 05. Let these two battle it out and wear each other out, and he'll come and swoop in for the pass for the lead here in about 50 laps or so.
John Kay has been very, very good on the short run, especially with new tires. He has been wearing them out. Finally kind of gets alongside, but we got trouble.
Trouble down the back
right
stretch
here,
somewhere.
I think right here in River City.
Jeremy Carter sounds like he was involved over the radio.
Yeah, definitely not quite sure where the issue is.
So Jeremy Carter, I think, is moving down the track to avoid Eric Breeding, who had just gotten up into the wall. Carter's going to get tagged by Kyle Dumig, I believe.
Yep, take another look here. You mentioned it. Breeding up into the wall. Oh, and Carter actually gets sideways. That's why Dumig ends up hitting him. So it's a self getting loose, not quite a spin yet. Just gets a little help from Dumig, who had nowhere to go.
And Dumig's been through the ringer this season, also this last week. Sounds like some major technical difficulties on his part and his rig not cooperating with him. So it's been a pile-it-on sort of week and season for Kyle Dumig. Hey, we got Matthew Short in the chat saying trucks. Who's your pick for the race? I'm interested to know.
Hoosier.
Who's your pick for the race?
Also,
Caleb McLaughlin hanging out with us.
Yep, you got it.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
No, you want to say it?
No, you beat me to it.
Okay. Caleb McLaughlin hanging out with us. Majority of the trucks that hit pit road there were just involved in that little dust up. Also, Jan Van Leer, Gary Clark hitting the pits as well. Jan's still in the lead lap. Gary Clark, I believe, is multiple laps down after he picked up a meatball flag under our longest green flag stint of the race. That caution there, was that what Chad Stearns wanted to see?
Don't think so. I think the longer they can run green, the better off Chad Stearns is.
Matthew Short says, I'm going with Stearns. Jinx squared from Lindsey G. Yeah, it's happened before. It'll happen again.
About once a week now we have so many races on the channel.
Yeah. I'd argue we're averaging more than...
Well, I was trying to give us the benefit of the doubt, but...
No, we don't deserve it. We have lost that. But tell us who you don't want us to jinx in the chat. We'll put it that way. And then we won't talk about them.
But if something does happen, then we'll say that you jinxed them, so you got to be careful.
Yes, exactly.
Anything to get the heat off the old broadcast boys here.
So we just doubled up for the restart. We are going to extend to make sure that everybody's in the right positions here. So a quick rundown through the field here with, 90 laps to go? Reynolds and Kay on row 1. Reynolds will elect the inside. Chad Stearns, Will Salamone on row 2. Kyle Zittel and Brantley Gainey on row 3. Andy Poliski, Luke Peterson, row 4. Steve Roman and Ryan Dye round out your top 10. Nathan Palawota back to 12th with Tyler Bergert to his inside. Kevin Sargent, Pascal Simard, 13th and 14th. Kyle Dumig and Oz Kanar. Through 16th, Jeremy Carter, the last truck on the lead lap, and 17th. Jan Van Leer, Eric Breeding, 1 lap down each, 18th and 19th. Corey Rutherford is 20th, 3 laps down. Paul Ellison, 21st, 5 laps down. And Gary Clark, 22nd, 15 laps down. I think everybody else is still running, other than Kenneth Graves down in 27th, who has retired. Pace car hangs a left. 133 goes up on the board this time. And Reynolds back to it.
Not the best restart from Reynolds here. Dye very, very close. Big, big run. Oh, Stearns gets pretty tight up the racetrack right in front of Salamone.
Here goes John Kay to the outside of Reynolds. This is the best look anybody's had at taking the lead away from driver number 38. Drawn even with the race leader. It's a tie at the line. Zittel underneath of Stearns. Teammates battling for first, teammates battling for third. It's Kay to the lead. John Kay clear on Nathan Reynolds. Stearns is going to beat the boss, and Zittel now going to be stuck on the inside.
Well, Kay's accomplished 1 goal here, and it was a massive one. It's been very difficult to get around Reynolds, but now has to make sure he puts in good laps, but doesn't push the truck too hard. Otherwise, he's going to get swallowed up a little bit later.
Reynolds maybe not one to waste any time here. He took a peek to the outside out of turn number 2. As we got crossovers bumping and banging all throughout this top 5 and top 10. Side by side, Poliski and Peterson for 5th.
Yeah, Poliski's been stuck in this battle around the 5th and 6th spot pretty much all night. Has yo-yoed between about 3rd or 4th and 9th and 10th. It's been everywhere in between.
Kay has moved back up to the top side up front, and Reynolds is back to the bottom.
very interesting.
Indeed. Stearns minding his own, 1.8 seconds behind this battle for the lead in third. Will Salamone, Luke Peterson, your top five. Steve Roman up to sixth. Andy Poliski, Kyle Zittel, Brantley Gainey, and Nathan Palawota back in the top 10. Leaders will be coming up on lap traffic here within the next couple of laps.
Zittel almost up into the wall there.
Awfully close.
Peterson's the one working the bottom now. May get swallowed up by Poliski. We've seen it a lot today. If you go to the bottom and can't make it work, another truck usually ends up leapfrogging you. And he does, and actually he's going to get taken by another one here. And Kyle Zittel. So Peterson, he's lost, I think, 3 spots here since the start, or since the restart.
John Kay is directing traffic down to the bottom lane where Nathan Reynolds is running. Keeping his preferred lane clear and disrupting Nathan Reynolds just that little bit much. So Chad Stearns fading a little bit, back to 2.3 seconds behind Kay and Reynolds. And he's got his mirror full to the 99 of Will Salamone, who was having a really good season up until Twin Ring Motegi. The wheels sort of fell off a little bit. 2 of his last 3 finishes have been outside of the top 20. Got a top 10 here in Season 4. He knows how to get it done here at Bristol and is having a great bounce-back run so far today. And I think we're clear with lap traffic for a while here for the lead. And now Nathan Reynolds is right back to it, trying to work the bottom again to get through on John Kay to try and retake this top spot. We have lost Paul Sargent. He is calling it a night, unfortunately. Burkeye Racing teammates right now 5th and 6th. Poliski searching for a way around Steve Roman.
Might get
move
boxed
himself
in
up
here.
into the top 5. He's definitely getting boxed in.
Lap traffic here to deal with in the 25. Now he looks to the bottom.
Gonna try and send it. And he's clear. Bold move, and it pays off.
Roman
Salamone
tries the
fading
bottom.
away. Yeah, not working. Peterson working the bottom behind them.
I want to go car inside here with Nathan Reynolds just to see what kind of laps he's trying to put in here. He's run all over the racetrack. He's running more like a middle to the bottom now, rather than the top like they were running at one point.
Remember what Reynolds told us before we went live tonight. He said he's boom or bust here at Bristol. So if he's P2 heading into the final lap, look out.
Well, I'm sure John Kay, who's a teammate, he's probably heard that this week already. And I'm sure he'll be aware of what's to come. John Kay way up the track there in the corner.
But he's making time, putting it right up against the wall. Just hoping against hope that he isn't wearing out that right front tire. Got to be nice to it.
Well, Reynolds is gaining a little bit here. Lost some time there in that one. ultra focused, just trying to hit his marks, trying not to pay attention to that truck on the outside of him.
I think Luke Peterson has finally gotten around Nathan Palawota to move himself up to 8th. Palawota and Brantley Gainey about to go at it for the 9th spot. Ryan Dye patiently waiting behind them.
Dye, who was in the top 5 at the beginning of the race, he has been outside the top 10 for quite a while here, trying to scratch and claw his way back.
We have quite a bit of lap traffic now in front of the leaders. Several trucks, count 5 or 6 at the minimum, that these guys are going to have to work through.
Yeah, and they're all here together, too, fighting for positions.
That's the key. They are on the lead lap. They're all fighting for position. Entitled to some space on the track, but it's Bristol. There's not a whole lot of space to begin with, as they are awfully close there. And now here comes Reynolds with another surge. It's his best look in a while. Kay going to try and direct lap traffic, but they are not really budging.
No, there's really
there goes Clark.
Really nowhere for them to go. Kevin Sargent on a bit of a slide right now. He and Kyle Dumig were the ones that about got together that we saw. May have actually gotten together. Kay, nowhere to go here. He's trying to push the 09.
It's sort of working. But here goes Reynolds. He'll take a big swing here to the inside. I think he's going to find the same problem. Got people passing in the left and the right lane. Reynolds is clear. Kale moved down to the bottom, and look out, Chad Stearns, 1 second behind now. He's made up 1.2 seconds as they have been working through this lap traffic.
Kay nearly contact with the 8.
3 more trucks to clear for Nathan Reynolds. Heavy lap traffic. Okay, to the wall! Only lose a little bit of time. Of all the tracks you're going to hit the wall at, this is probably the best one. Caution is out there, wrecking Steve Froman. Froman and Poliski, I believe, got together up into the wall. Caution is back in the air. Wow.
Well, let's take a look. Oh, yeah, and netcode involved here.
Oh, lovely.
As they're coming out of the corner, Steve Roman 00, he's on the top. Poliski does drift up the track a bit, and I think there may have been contact anyways, but it is initiated a little bit earlier than probably would have. And Poliski, very much a similar incident that we kind of saw with Ellison and Janve Lear a little bit earlier, but Vroman didn't hit off the wall and come down. They both just kind of came together. But they both get it righted in the right direction pretty quickly. And that will bring pretty much everybody down pit road here.
Yes, indeed. We'll see if anybody is willing to roll the dice here. Under 50 laps to go. But certainly the top 3, and well, really the top 10, not willing to put themselves on an alternate strategy here. Chad Stearns has made some interesting moves on pit road, to say the least, this season. We'll see if he can get a big win off of the pits. Pick up any spots. Nope, he'll be out third. Reynolds beats K. Stearns third. Poliski out fourth. Salamone fifth. Roman, Palawota, Peterson, Zittel, Gainey, and Tyler Bergert out 10th.
Berger, he's been fighting around the 15th spot pretty much all night. Really haven't talked about him at all.
He was showing some speed late at New Hampshire. Unfortunately, got turned into the wall for his efforts. But quiet night at Bristol, not always a bad thing.
Okay, we have a couple that have stayed out here.
Ryan Dye is the one. Kyle Dumick got the free pass, so he's going to have to drop to the tail here. But Ryan Dye, interesting.
Well, we mentioned it. We mentioned that he was in the top 5 early on and then slid back and never really was able to work his way forward, maybe thinking track position is king, but still a lot of laps left here. He's definitely good on fuel, but he will have 53 lap older tires than everybody else.
But think of this. Everybody has just put on their 3rd extra set of tires, I do believe. So if we have a caution and say, I don't know, 20 laps, Ryan Dye might be looking okay. But he's got to survive up to that point, like you said. Much fresher rubber on these trucks. All about to gang up on him.
Well, that's when it gets a little bit dangerous because he's going to be slower than the trucks behind him, and it can put you into some bad spots.
We'll see who's feeling dangerous here in the closing stretch of the race. Good restart for Dye. Reynolds and Kay lined up on the inside. Stearns on the outside. Kay trying to clear up maybe. Or then again, maybe not. Poliski on the move. Oh, Poliski loose!
Oh, he's still loose!
Oh, he's still loose! Oh, no! Some slight contact. Caution is out. Man, oh, man.
And that is one of your title contenders. And the other 2 are in the top 3.
Reynolds did beat Dye to the line just as the caution was coming out. So Reynolds will assume the lead. Kay is in 3rd. Poliski. Some contact to the inside wall. We'll have to see how bad here.
Yep, take a look here. Just entering the corner right behind Kay. Kay actually got a little bit loose here into the corner as well. And the right rear steps out on Poliski on entry, and he just never gets it back. And then ends up putting the left front down on the apron at some point, trying to put the power down. I mean, it really started on entry and just never quite got it back. We'll see how hard the hit is here. Really not too bad. Why don't we go ahead and back it up? We'll go rear chase so we can look at the front of this truck, of course. He had damage to the front of the truck really early on in the race, so still some damage from that incident. But yeah, just a little tap here, and really probably not too bad at all.
Eric Breeding will... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Now Ryan Dye has decided to come in.
That was going to be my next point. Eric Breeding gets the lucky dog. Ryan Dye waits just a couple of laps here. We'll see. That's the beauty of Venom Truck Series racing. A lot of these guys are playing 4D chess with the strategy, and we're just up here drooling in the booth, waiting to see how it's going to play out.
Well, he may have gotten out there and realized it was a mistake to not take the tires, because I mean, if you're going to go for that strategy, you've only run a half a lap on the tires, or a lap at the most. If you thought the strategy was going to work, I don't think you would come in there. I think you would stay out.
Well, so, you know, we'll debrief with Ryan after this race, so we'll find out. Regardless, appreciate him rocking the car inside cam here tonight as well. We got, I think this is the record. We have 5 tonight, don't we?
We do. We have 5. We've shown them all at some point here. Luke Peterson, Ryan Dye, Brantley Gainey, Nathan Reynolds, and Eric Breeding. All car inside drivers here tonight, and that is a record. The most we've ever had is 4.
And shout out to Flanky Roberts, who was scheduled to be one, phoned ahead, said he wasn't going to be here tonight. Hope to see him back here soon. Last time we were at Bristol in any form, he was the winner, back when it was covered in dirt around Christmas time last season. But all right. It's been an interesting night of racing. A lot of people in and out of the top 10, but the top 2 have not changed. Reynolds and Kay. Stearns has been close to putting himself into the battle. Is now go time for the 05. A lot of questions to be answered. A lot of lefts to be turned here. And still a lot of fenders to be wrinkled. Palawoda trying to find his way back up into the top side. Not going to work. Zittles rockets to the outside of the 6. Kay looking for some space to try and make a move on his teammate Reynolds to get back to the lead.
Kay with a massive run there. Just couldn't really do anything with it. He wants to be on the outside. Salamone and Zittle fighting now. Zittle has been very quick since the restart. He gets around Salamone, sets his sights on Stearns. And Stearns really can't play his long game anymore. He pretty much has to push.
Here we go, not playing the long game. John Kay underneath of Reynolds for the lead.
Whoa!
Squeezing his teammate right up to the wall. And we're right back to teammates battling for first and third. This time it's Stearns trying to hold off the team boss as Zittle reeling in the 05. Kay with some space now up to the 51.
All of our lead lap trucks pretty much single file here. A little bit of movement here in the back. That's Dumig and I believe Carter. Actually, I take that back. That was Jan Van Leer.
Jan Van Leer is in position for the lucky dog should another caution come out. As long as he's not in it. Everybody knock on wood.
Here comes John Kay again. He's rallied. Takes him a few laps after taking a shot if it doesn't work. Takes him a few laps to get that run back, but he's back again.
He keeps taking shots. Now it's time to give him right up to the back bumper. Still working over here. Zittle hanging in step with Stearns. Reynolds now gets to dictate where lap traffic goes. He is asking for everybody to go high. Exactly where John Kay wants to run. Interesting. It's exactly what Kay did to Reynolds not too long ago.
Well, the other thing is, all of that lap traffic probably will very gladly run high. I think that's the preferred line right now.
Especially with damage, that truck is gonna want to push itself high.
Yeah. Yeah, for most of the guys in the back of the field, I think you want to. The top side is your friend here now.
And the other thing is, even though the high side was John Kay's line, that's what got him bottled up and in trouble and lost the lead as a result of the traffic staying to the low side. Got himself boxed in. A little bit of clean air out in front of the top two, Reynolds and Kay. We're coming up on lap 200 next time by. In the closing laps of the None of Your Beeswax 220 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. It's been a fun one, and it's going to get more crazy here as the laps tick away. Desperation time maybe for Paluota and Zittel.
Paluota tried to force the issue underneath of the 53 in a really tough spot. Couldn't quite get it in there, either that or just thought twice about it, because I don't think it was going to turn out very well.
No, good on both of those drivers for some heads-up driving there, jockeying for position on the bottom of the track here at Bristol. Stearns has separated himself from that battle for the 4th position. Still not quite up with the leaders just yet, but is gaining a little bit of time here, especially now that Reynolds and Kay are in some pretty heavy lap traffic again.
Yeah, the two of them, trucks on the top and the bottom in front. Reynolds gets through on Carter. We'll have one more in Breeding to get around, and then has a little bit of a break. Kay has lost quite a bit of time here.
For whatever reason, whenever he gets in lap traffic, he just yields time.
Well, he's running the bottom there, and he really hasn't run the bottom almost all night, so probably not very comfortable. Probably doesn't know exactly how to run the line precisely. Definitely not as well as Reynolds, who's been running the middle to the bottom all night.
Next truck up to be lapped at some point here for Nathan Reynolds will be Andy Poliski. Still a ways to go to get that done. Paul Ellison will fall a 6th lap down here. Chad Stearns 1.6 seconds behind Reynolds. About a second behind John Kay. He himself is about a 2.25 seconds clear of Kyle Zittel, who is having to fend off Nathan Paluota here, working through all that lap traffic.
Yeah, there's lap traffic here. There's more cars, there's more trucks on the lead lap right behind him. Peterson, Vrome, and Salamone.
Salamone just had to check up hard not to turn Luke Peterson, who had drifted up the track just a little bit. And that cost him the spot to Steve Vroman, the 7th position, in fact.
Paluota still trying to find a way around the 53. He's tried it a couple different ways, but it's just so tough. No.
Ooh. Paluota had a lot of early success here this season, but it feels like it's been a while since we've gotten him up into the top 5 at the end of one of these.
Oh, he went to the bottom. Now Peterson's going to try the bottom, but underneath the 6.
Oh, boy! Awfully close there.
I'm not even sure it was close. It looked like there might have been contact.
Paluota definitely got up into the wall there in 1 and 2. But still dogging Kyle Zittel.
While this is happening, Chad Stearns was pulled up right to the back of John Kay.
Yeah, John Kay is falling away big time here.
I think Kay burned his stuff up trying to get around lap traffic desperately. Isn't going away quietly here, though. Stearns not quite clear yet.
Not yet! Oh boy! Stearns forced John's hand there.
Kay slips back to the 3rd spot. Stearns to 2nd. But a big gap up to Nathan Reynolds. It's about a 1.5 seconds. And while we were watching that, Palawota has gotten around Zittel. Now Vroman's looking to get around Zittel on the outside, but being boxed in a bit.
Zittel trapped
Still
on the
gets the job
bottom.
done.
Slides up in front of Peterson, opens the door for Gainey underneath. Now some lap traffic ahead of Kyle Zittel. Maybe moving to the top side was the wrong move.
White flag, half a lap to go here for Reynolds.
Reynolds, the none of your beeswax, 220. It's all over. Nathan Reynolds finally goes boom here at Bristol. Chad Stearns in the closing laps makes it up to second. John Kay will hang on to third. Boy, that one snuck up on me there at the end. I'm glad you said that. Enjoying a great battle all the way through the field. And Nathan Reynolds going to walk away with the big dub.
Getting a little love here from Ellison. Big love from Cole Maxwell.
Just about everybody.
Poliski's right here as well.
Well, Poliski, another wrinkle in this championship battle. It's his worst finish of the season, 14th, and it could not have come at a worse time. Reynolds trying to go for the whole lap around here, I think.
Well, he got half a lap. Didn't quite get the whole one. He's going to turn it around and go half Polish now.
See what that ECR power plant is able to do here under some duress.
He is awfully focused on this. On this burnout here. Teammates burning it down with him.
Everybody. Alabama gang, Super Kick Revival Racing, and there goes the motor.
There goes one engine.
Let's see how long the rest of them last here. Well, as the celebrations sort of come to an end here, we'll give you the full finishing rundown. For the None of Your Beeswax 220 at Bristol, Nathan Reynolds just won himself some honey. He also, I believe, has just regained the points lead. Going to be awfully close, at least, between he and John Kay. Kay will finish in third. Chad Stearns, after a win last week, up to second. Great run for him, up 14 spots. I think he's the hard charger here tonight. Nathan Palawota will end up with the P4. That's his third career top 5 in his rookie season. Steve Roman then will walk away with the top 5 tonight as well. Brantley Gainey will finish in the 6th position. It's his best finish here at Bristol. Luke Peterson, man, he's on quite the run right now. 7th place finish for him. Great run for Kyle Zittel to finish in the 8th position. That is tied with his best finish on the season, I do believe. Will Salamone then back to his top 10 ways will finish in 9th. And Ryan Dye back up to the top 10 there on a little bit fresher tires at the end. Tyler Bergert will finish in 11th. That is his best career Venom Truck Series finish. Oz Kanar will finish in 12th. Boy, I feel like we didn't mention Oz Kanar's name all night long. Not always a bad thing. Pascal Samard, same for him. 13th place finish for Pascal. Believe it or not, that's his best finish of the season. 14th place for Andy Poliski, like we mentioned. He's the last truck on the lead lap. Eric Breeding then will finish in 15th. Jeremy Carter in 16th. Jan Van Leer in 17th. Kyle Dimmick 2 laps down in 18th. Kevin Sargent likewise in 19th. And Corey Rutherford 5 laps down in 20th. Paul Ellison 21st. Cole Maxwell 22nd. Michael Dean in 23rd. Gary Clark 24th. Garrett Rainey, Paul Sargent, and Kenneth Graves, your finishing order. After 220 laps at Bristol, don't have anybody in the waiting room yet. Gonna have to start cracking heads here before too much longer. I guess while we're waiting for some people to matriculate here, give us some of your thoughts after a fun one here at Bristol today.
Well, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Sometimes when we think it's going to be chaos, it ends up being all green flags. Was not the case here tonight. A lot of yellows. It was a tough race. I mean, had a lot of drivers getting together, a lot of drivers getting into the wall, and others were just innocent bystanders that happened to get the worst of it. So, but it was great racing all throughout the night up front. The top 10, my goodness, the top 10 had some banging action here tonight. Really, really good stuff from the Venom boys here tonight.
And still waiting. Usually these guys are Johnny on the spot. There we go. Hot swap to get John K up here into the broadcast booth. Third place finish for you here tonight. Congrats on the podium. Something tells me that maybe P3 was not what you were shooting for.
Yeah, I've been talking a big game all week about how I wanted that jar of honey, and I guess I'll have to wait another season.
Well, I mean, at times it looked really good here. You were able to clear Reynolds a couple of different times throughout the night. What do you think the difference maker was down the stretch?
Well, Nathan's, I mean, let's be frank, Nathan's the GOAT in this league for a reason, and I don't give a damn what anybody says. Because quite frankly, it don't matter, and he showed it tonight. That dude's a baller, and you know, it's so much fun getting to race against somebody who is that good. And a lot of the guys in this league are really good, but I mean, when you get to go toe to toe with Nathan at a track that he is just freaking nuts at, let's be honest, this is his favorite track. This is the track that, you know, he's run the most at. So, you know, it's, I'll take it. I got caught up with lap traffic. I wanted the top and, burnt my stuff up having to go to the bottom a couple of times and try not to hit people coming from the high line with the momentum. And yeah, it's just is what it is. It was fun. It was fun getting to toe with Nathan, and we'll do it again. I know we will.
Matt, what do you got for our boy JK here?
Well, I know, like Tommy said, the third isn't exactly what you wanted, but man, you put in a heck of a fight here tonight. It was very, very fun to watch the two of you go at it lap after lap until just right there at the very end. What do you think about the points coming in? It's maybe a two-dog race now. Poliski, he finished down in 14th. How are we feeling?
I mean, I'm trying not to put any stock in it, honestly. I just need to go out there and run what I can and finish as well as I can. Obviously, P2 would have been a little better tonight, but I think I'm like probably a point behind Nathan or something like that. But yeah, man, I'm just not gonna think about it. I just need to go run good races, and I mean, on any given race, something bad could happen to me. So Andy's not out of it. Obviously, Nathan's right there, but Nathan's shown that he can make mistakes too, and hopefully we just keep it clean down the end of the road and see where we're at when we go into Charlotte after Talladega, because that's the one that really worries me.
That's what I was just about to say. This 5-race closing stretch is the Glen, Dover, Auto Club, Talladega, Charlotte. I'm not sure anybody can have any confidence that anything will be in their control here in the last 5 races. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's a lot more in our hands. Obviously, Auto Club, Watkins Glen, where dominated season 4, I think, or whatever it was, and sped on pit road. You know, something in my control. So. It's just going to be limit the mistakes and hope Talladega's smiling on us, Alabama gang represent. But nah, man, I've never had a clean finish at Dega. So yeah, I just want to get there and hope I'm close to Nathan, or hope that I'm ahead of Nathan, hope he makes a mistake or two over the next couple weeks, and just keep doing what I'm doing. Pretty proud of myself. It's been, if you'd have seen me drive season 2, season 3, sometimes in season 4, you would see that I'm a completely different driver than I used to be. So proud of myself no matter what happens down the stretch. Put up a hell of a fight against 2 really good dudes.
6th podium of the season here tonight. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out my girlfriend. She's awesome. I want to shout out tacos, because tacos are also awesome. Shout out my mom and dad. Yeah, hell no, I'm not wrong. Everybody loves tacos. If you don't, something's wrong with you. So shout out my mom and dad. Shout out my little homie RJ. who watches a bunch of my YouTube videos. I might send him the link to this so he can watch this. No, he got shouted out. I appreciate him. He was my little buddy this past week in PA announcing. So, yeah, and then shout out the whole team, man. Obviously, congrats to Nathan for winning. I'm Garrett, Paul, Luke, Eric Breeding. I mean, those guys are awesome. They keep me calm during a race because I can get a little, believe it or not, I can get a little on edge. So yeah, man. On Watkins Glen's next week. So on to Watkins Glen, and shout out Michael Crawl in case he's watching. Ran his paint scheme tonight. Really proud to get that truck a good run. Too bad we couldn't put it either one step or two steps higher in the podium.
Well, it's still P3, and hope to talk to you again here next week at the Glen.
That's the plan.
All right, we'll go for our longest interview tonight to probably the shortest one. Your P2 finisher is Chad Stearns. Welcome up to booth 200. Man, reeling in the race leader there on the closing laps. How much more do you think you needed? How many more laps, rather?
Quite a few, really. I mean, Nathan's super fast at Bristol, always. After that last caution came out, I think we had 40 laps left, and I knew I could be fast in the long run or whatever, but I didn't think 40 laps was enough, and it wasn't quite enough, but P2's good.
P2 is great, especially starting back in 16th. Talk about trying to navigate some of the early trouble in this race.
Oh, it is what it is. Just gotta, I don't know. I mean, I about got caught up in 2 or 3 wrecks, but, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, congrats on the P2, as you usually do. You came back right at the very end and picked up another spot. On not a really long run, it was a bit of a shorter one. When that last caution came out, were you thinking you had to kind of push a little bit harder than you normally would?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think it was around 40 laps, and both John and Nathan were super fast in the short run. So, I mean, I knew I had to push a little bit harder, but at the same time, I didn't want to overdo it because I honestly didn't think I was faster than them two anyway. So I wanted to, I hope they battled it out and burnt some tire up. It's kind of what happened to an extent.
Well, another podium for you here on the season. Anybody want to shout out or thank you tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and Zittling and Venom Truck Series. Appreciate it.
There you go. 4th podium of the season, in fact, for Chad Stearns. Hope to see you back here next week. I know next time we'll see you. We'll probably be talking to you at the end of it, though. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And now we will bring up our race winner. He finally did it. He finally went boom at Bristol. Billy Badbutt, the Intimidator, here tonight. Good to see the 51 back on track and back in victory lane. Nathan Reynolds, congrats on the big win.
Thanks, guys. I tell you, this one, I think this one goes back all the way to circa 1997, sitting in a Food City lobby playing Cruising California, just ripping a cherry red Corvette up and down the San Francisco Bay and double tapping the gas pedal, popping wheelies as a little 5-year-old boy. And I just used my last 2 quarters and had a crowd of people there watching me, and I don't think I made it 90 seconds, finished dead last. But in disappointment, my mom standing there watching me, I told myself, I said, you know what? In 25 years on this day, on your wife's birthday, there's going to be a thing called the Venom Truck Series League, and by God, you're going to go win at Bristol on that day. And here we are, boys.
Incredible. I have no follow-ups to that. I'm kind of in a stunned silence, to be honest. Matt, what do you got for Nathan?
I mean, just congratulations. I mean, this was a very, very hard-fought victory for you here tonight. John K. threw everything and the kitchen sink at you. You got a little bit lucky there with some, well, I don't know if it's lucky. You just navigated lap traffic very, very well, a little bit better than John did. When he went by, I thought you might let him just kind of hang out for a while and play the slow game and then try to come back and get him. But, man, you were right back after him.
Yeah, I should have never let him go. He was pushing me harder than I wanted to go, and I knew Chad was back there. And I had a feeling if it stayed green and I let him push me, that neither one of us was going to win the race. And it kind of played out to that effect because Chad was able to get him later on in the race when I could hold track position and kept him in dirty air. So there, the way it kind of flipped, we just didn't have enough laps for Chad to run me down there at the end. So I left the top open and let him go. And then the more I ran, the more I'm like, oh man, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have just stayed out front on my own, because at that point I was faster than him again. It didn't take many laps to flip, but it's just so hard to pass, especially if you're racing against somebody that knows what they're doing, even the slightest bit here. That's what I told John. I don't think I've sweated this much. I've won quite a few at Bristol over many different leagues over the years, and honestly, the hardest race I think I've ever run here was probably a Strength of Field Night C Open against Andrew Navarro. And I told John, I said, I don't think I've sweated that much since then. Hats off to him. He drove one heck of a race tonight. He was almost an unstoppable force. He was tough to beat.
Well, he was the unstoppable force, but you are the immovable object up front. You didn't leave the top two all night. Hats off to you. Your 15th career victory after your 20th career pole. Shout outs for you here tonight. Anybody you want to shout out or say hi to? You said it's the wife's birthday today as well.
It is. It is my wife's birthday. So happy birthday. I'm sure she's absolutely elated that I'm in here winning races for her on her birthday. But yeah, happy birthday to her, and I love her. Thank her for everything that she does for me and my family. I'm very blessed. Thank God above that I have her in my life and the kids. Alabama gang, those guys keeping my head straight. We've had a rough few weeks, just like I told you guys a while back, just kind of dealing with some burnout, and this definitely helps. And they've really given me a lot of good pep talks. So shout out to them. We're tough to beat this year. We show up trying to be that way, and they put in a lot of practice and a lot of good feedback. So thank them guys, and of course Nitro Racing Setups. You guys know where to find them by now, and RJ over at NASCAR Report.
Absolutely. It's the right kind of burnouts for you here tonight, and hopefully that trend continues. Your third win of the season. You're clawing your way back right up to the top of the point standings here in the closing stretch. All things are looking up Nathan Reynolds right now, I'd say. Congrats on the big win here tonight.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
And that is a wrap on the None of Your Beeswax 220. Nathan Reynolds is going to be eating honey however he wants here. In just a couple of weeks' time, I'm sure Steve Roman getting that packaged up and ready to ship off to Honecker, Virginia before too much longer. I know you like to shout out some of the fine folks out in Turn 200 lane before we box things up and send them home. So let us know who was hanging out with us here today.
We had a lot of people hanging out with us pretty much all night, and I think it's just a testament to the great racing that we had here tonight at Bristol. Lindsey G, Wes Brown, Eric Breeding came in and said he was going to send it here before the race. Rebecca Missiswoda, Ryan Dye, State Line Sim Racing, Jeremy McKinnon, Kate McLaughlin, Matthew Short, and Mike Berry hopped in there right at the end to cheer on Nathan Reynolds as he comes for his win here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And apologies as well to the Sargent family. Yes, Kevin is Paul's son. I know that. I don't know why I said the Sargent brothers. I've always known that. But Paul and Kevin both out here running tonight. And always a pleasure to get to bring up their names when we do. Kevin, a tough night for him, but persevered. He'll take a top 20. So all things on the up and up for the drivers at the top of the point standings here. Nathan Reynolds and John Kay looking good. Poliski maybe in a little bit of trouble here. Drama down the stretch here. Just 5 races to go. We hope you'll be here for all of them for the Venom Truck Series. Next week is Watkins Glen. We had one road course race already this season. It was Reynolds, Kay, and Poliski up front, battling away, literally nose to tail there after the green flag pit stop. So more of the same inbound next Tuesday night at the Glen. After that, Auto Club, Dover, Talladega, and Charlotte. That is quite the 5-race closing stretch to season number 6. To make sure you're here for all 5 of those races, be sure you scroll down just that little bit. Take the full screen off, go down and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button while you're down there as well. It all helps. And that'll keep you in tune for some of the racing action we got coming up the next week. Tomorrow night, Daytona Road Course under the lights for the Daredevil Series. We're back to road course racing with the Lotus 79s. Thursday night is Maximum Velocity Racing League at Chicagoland. Monday night, it is the Season 2 opener at Homestead Miami Speedway. And, of course, next Tuesday, right back at it at Watkins Glen with the Venom Truck Series. Hope to see everybody then, but until we meet again, for everybody with the Venom Truck Series and everybody here at Turn 200, for the GOAT, Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. We're saying so long from the last great Coliseum, where Nathan Reynolds stands tall with his 15th career Venom Truck Series victory.